Thank you, Mr. Moderator, delegates, and guests. On behalf of our Board of Directors and staff, greetings from NCP. It is great to be with you today and to share some of the ministry highlights from 2020. Even though 2020 was a year like we never would have imagined, we are grateful for the amazing and faithful ministry by our covenant churches and affiliated organizations, and that our team at NCP is invited to share in their ministry. We continue to pray for the spiritual and physical health of our covenant churches during this ongoing pandemic. As most of you know, NCP celebrated its 50th year of ministry in 2020. NCP has been serving covenant churches and organizations since NCP was founded on January 27, 1970. It is truly an honor for me to serve as your fourth president of NCP and to continue to build on the great legacy work that my three predecessors started and expanded. All of us at NCP would like to say a big thank you to all of you for 5 decades of ministry partnership. The mission of NCP remains the same, and our goal is to continue to connect mission-minded covenanters with kingdom projects. We appreciate our very loyal and mission-minded investors and all the churches, camps, and other covenant entities that have trusted NCP to help with their facility and ministry projects. Did you know that our oldest living customer will be 108 years old this year and has been a customer for 47 years? We are grateful for her support of our mission from almost the beginning of NCP. As I reflect on the impact from COVID-19 on our churches, we learned that each church's experience is unique, and while some adjusted well, many were not ready. The global pandemic forced covenant churches to close their worship facilities and to quickly adapt and transform to an online worship experience. In a year when being socially distanced and wearing a mask became a part of our new daily routines, and when we were not able to meet or travel, NCP still made it a priority to stay connected with our borrowers and investors. During the initial phase of the pandemic, NCP coached churches that lacked resources and tools for holding virtual worship facilities and digital means to collect tithes and offerings. We modified as appropriate loan structures and mortgage payments to provide temporary cash flow relief and to allow churches to focus on more ministry opportunities. We provided virtual financial stewardship coaching and training to conferences and church leadership. NCP is here to serve you, and in addition to calling borrowers and pastors on a regular basis, NCP connected with 425 church leaders through our virtual seminars this past year. Understandably, 2020 was a slower year for new loan approvals, but we still approved $20 million in new loans, including loans to many of our covenant camps. A few churches decided to go ahead with the construction projects. However, approximately $10 million in new construction loans were delayed. On a positive note, we saw more activity and discussions about potential projects toward the end of the year as churches were starting to reopen. God is faithful and moving in powerful ways through this challenging time and the various crises that we experience in a very real way. In 2020, we were reminded that the church is not a building, and its impact in the community goes beyond its ability to worship. One of our greatest joys was to see and hear stories of God is at work at our covenant churches. We heard stories of community food banks and meal deliveries to the shut-ins, of shopping for the elderly, and churches raising funds to purchase digital devices to students and schools in under-resourced areas, support of frontline workers and teachers, and the financial contributions and support of neighborhood small businesses, and access to hygiene products and portable showers for the homeless. The list goes on and on with examples of the church truly being the church. As a result of their very tangible and compassionate and life-changing ministry, many churches realized stable and even increased giving and a significant growth in online attendance. Optimism in the midst of a crisis is definitely a force multiplier, and despite having its building doors closed, the churches remain very much open and alive. Those are some examples of ministry that reminds us why NCP exists. As we continue to collaborate on new ministry opportunities, I am very pleased to report that NCP continues to be well positioned to support and meet more ministry initiatives in the future. Together we can move ministry forward and reach more people for God. It is an honor for our team to serve you, our covenant family, for the last 50 years, and it'll be a privilege to continue serving you for the next 50 years. Thank you for your partnership in ministry. And that concludes my report, Mr. Moderator. Thank you.